The Kuwaiti dinar currently is the strongest currency in the world. 31 Kuwaiti dinars for every US dollar. If you do the math, it turns out to be about $3.22. Quote, it's worth noting Kuwait has about 7% of the world's oil reserves, which greatly supports the value of the currency. According to 2023 data, Iraq has significantly more oil reserves than Kuwait, with Iraq holding approximately 145 billion barrels of oil compared to Kuwait's 101.5 billion. Iraq has 43% more oil than Kuwait. Kuwait's currency is strongest in the world. Iraq has the ability to be at least 43% more valuable based off oil, let alone their non-oil revenues. Pretty exciting times. We've always said, don't run to the bank. I said walk, take your time. You want to take your time, because you want to see any changes. You want to see any mistakes that have been done that are being corrected by the bank or the CBI, whatever it may be. Take your time in doing this. Once the exchange starts, it's not going to stop overnight. You're going to have plenty of time. We're most concerned with the dinar at the contract rate, which our contract rate on the dinar is tied to North Sea Brent crude oil, and if it's 80, well, that's what the contract rate is, and that's the North Sea Brent crude price. A few days ago, it fluctuates a little up, a little down, but it's trending up, it's trending higher. So that's a good thing to be aware of. Mark, look at IQD on Z and see what it says. It started showing up on Saturday. Marks, we are seeing some crazy rates and values. Buckle up, it's going to be a crazy couple of days. Iraq's got 43% more oil than Kuwait. What? Kuwait doesn't have his non-oil revenues. It's very powerful. It shows Iraq is totally capable of having a real effective exchange rate that could be at least competitive and similar to the region. There is a news program on television right now talking about currencies and the countries of these currencies. It looks like they want to give us more monetary reform education before they give us our new currency. One of them is Kuwait dinar. The currency is $3.23 with $105 million in reserve. Iraq have $145 million in reserves, and we say that we are 43% higher in reserves in Kuwait. We should be also having stronger currency too as we see it. Iraq's gold reserves significantly increased. Iraq's gold reserves grew by 57% in third quarter of 2024. The value of Iraq gold reserves rose from 10.7 trillion Iraqi dinars, which is $8.1 billion in 2023 to 16.8 trillion dinar or $10.6 billion in 2024. According to the World Gold Council, Iraq now holds 152.6 tons of gold, ranking as the 29th largest gold holding country globally and third in the Arab world after Lebanon and Saudi Arabia. The rumor is, according to Aki's company in the Middle East, that they got 9 currencies in a basket. It may be more, it may be less, it could come out asset-backed, or it could come out with a float. The float makes more sense, but East is saying, if it is a basket, we're seeing the euro, British pound, krona, which is Swedish currency, and shilling, which is Austria currency. The budget amendments cannot get approved till after the rate changes. They're working around a date, waiting for the rate to change. CBI unveils new banknote security features, lots of pictures, and they show us on the old bills where some of these features could be and what to look for. This is great cover for new bills and distributing the lower denominations. This is a world-class approach. With bills with new security feature, they will need to distribute the lower denominations throughout the banks and businesses. This article had me awfully excited. The dinar is going to be one of the most sophisticated currencies in the world, and it should be, as it is about to be, the most valuable currency in the world. Quote, The Central Bank of Iraq reviewed the excellence enjoyed by Iraqi banknotes as they are one of the most complex security marks and were manufactured from the best types of paper used in printing banknotes to ensure quality and safety. They show older currency of course, but they're not going to share with you the new currency because of counterfeiting. You ask yourself, well, they're going to be reproducing new 25k notes for 1,310 and as an exchange rate to the US dollar. Why are you doing that now? You already have many security features, the 25k note is full of them. Do they really mean new notes? I think they do. Iraq launches new banknotes with innovative security signs for the visually impaired. It seems like it's new currency. I don't have any currencies, that you can feel bumps. Quote, the public will have enough time to adapt to these new banknotes. The central bank confirmed the new banknotes will be traded along with the old ones and there will be no intention to withdraw old banknotes from circulation. Remember, they've already withdrawn a lot of notes out of the system. They were actually destroying perfectly good money. Iraqis use new banknotes with innovative security features for the visually impaired. Quote, the Central Bank of Iraq confirmed that the new banknotes will be circulated alongside the old ones, and there will be no intention to withdraw the old banknotes from circulation. The Middle Oil Company, in cooperation with the Chinese company, EBS, announced the achievement of a major oil discovery in the East Baghdad South field. The company's general manager, Mohammed Yassin Hassan, stated in a statement received by Euphrates News, a copy of it, that the main exploratory well testing operations in the East Baghdad field had achieved great success, as a highly productive oil flow of medium and light oil was obtained. It is expected to add more than 2 billion barrels to Iraq's oil reserves, making it the largest oil discovery in central Iraq. The Director General pointed out that the initial tests of the well showed a daily production rate of up to 5,000 barrels of crude oil. Yassin praised the fruitful cooperation between Iraqi engineers at the Middle Oil Company and their counterparts at the Chinese EBS company, which resulted in precise planning and strict implementation of well testing procedures in areas within the oil field. This discovery is of strategic importance as it adds to Iraq's oil reserves, which rank 5th in the world in proven reserves. This achievement also enhances the production capabilities of Iraq, one of the founding and influential members of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, which supports its pivotal role in the global energy market. The Ministry of Transport revealed, on Tuesday, the additional plans it has put in place to improve the facilities of the Grand Four port and expand its capabilities, indicating that receiving the 5 berths of the project represents a step towards actual entry into the global trade and transport routes that pass through the Middle East region, which is of great strategic importance to global trade. The Ministry's media office said in a statement received by Euphrates News, that the Four port, which is an important part of the Development Road project, will be launched with a capacity of 3.5 million containers and 22 million tons of bulk materials in its first phase. In the second phase, its capacity will reach 7.5 million containers and 33 million tons of bulk materials, and in the third phase it will reach 10 million containers and 40 million tons of bulk materials, according to an increase commensurate with any development in this sector. He added that the Four-port includes the construction of industrial cities, and there is a development plan that is consistent with the importance of the port and its continuous readiness for any future or technological change, which allows the project to adapt to any global development in the future. The statement said that the plans for the Four-port project focus on building water desalination plants, green electricity generation plants, wind towers to generate electricity, establishing tourist beaches in the port, and other investment projects. He noted that work on the port has begun with the construction of 5 docks, and their success in operation will give Iraq an opportunity to develop and increase the docks, explaining that Qasr port operates with 29 docks, and the Grand Four port is planned to contain a greater number of docks than those in Qasr.